ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much for coming, and a very belated wishes to all of you for Holy Festival. I hope all of you must have enjoyed that. Last time, if you remember, we were discussing on the topic, can faith be reasonable? And we discussed some things on that. So today also we'll be resuming our discussion on the very same topic, can faith be reasonable? Last time we discussed many things, how if you remember that example of a man coming from Europe and an aborigine who happens to meet up in New York. So what they'll discuss. And the aborigine man will be discussing that how nothing came from architecture and science. Whatever he is witnessing, whatever creation he is witnessing is because of some mystic power. But the man from Europe, he actually makes sense in his logic that everything is built by architects who are very professionals. So we'll resume our discussion. I'll just share the PPT in a second. Yeah. Is it visible to all? Can someone please confirm? Anyone? Is that visible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Amrita Mataji. So now today we'll be discussing the science of consciousness. That what actually is the reason behind the creation. We have discussed that this creation is designed by the Supreme Creator, and wherever there is creation, there is a creator. Nothing comes automatically, nothing comes by a blast. A very famous scientist named Thomas Huxley, you must be seeing the screen. He mentioned a very beautiful quote that there is a third thing in the universe to which consciousness, which I can't see to be matter or force. So he believed in creation of God. And he's believing that there's actually a creator, there's actually some God who's existing. Because there are some things which we even can't figure out by our modern science. So if we logically see, even great scientists in the past, they have admitted that there is something beyond energy, there's something beyond this world, and that is God. Here's another quote by another very famous scientist, Max Planck. He says that science cannot solve the ultimate mystery of nature. And that's what we see even today. The more science is developing, more people are becoming impersonal. Undoubtedly, there are many facilities which are very useful in today's world, like what we're using now. The technology we're using for our current presentation and discussion is Zoom. Online, we are meeting up on Zoom and discussing, but it doesn't solve the problems which it is creating. So therefore, Max Planck says that, and that is because in the last analysis, we ourselves are a part of the mystery that we are trying to solve. So therefore, in this world, we see that we consume so much data on social media. We study some things at our university, in our graduation, and in our school, meet so many people. But what is the world teaching us? We are being taught to be competitive, to become successful, but the standards and definitions of success have changed. Or to be more precise, it has become distorted. We need to change our definition of success. We need to change our definition of happiness. Because actually, we see that things don't make happy. Things don't make people happy. So, this definition, which has been created since our childhood, is actually wrong. And that's what spiritual life teaches. We discussed this previously also. That science is the study of matter, and spirituality is the study of what matters. Could someone read this? Would someone like to read this, please? Anyone? Any
Yes,
volunteer?
Prabhu,
Yeah. Yes,
I
Fatima,
can do that.
please.
The world is not just made up of matter. We can see that there is a matter, spirit, and controller of both. Ishwar, God, when we switch on or switch off an electric switch, the light gets on and off, and hence we think, I am the controller of the light bulb. It is practically true. It is partially true, sorry. Yes, we are minute controller with limited freedom. When there is a power cut from electricity board and when we switch on the button, light will not glow.
Yeah. So I hope you understand the example. See, that's the example they're mentioning. That if a person switches on the electricity board, if a person switches on the electricity board or switches on the light will turn on. So logically speaking, that person is the controller. Well, let's take our example in that instance. If we turn on a switch, light goes on. So are we controlling the light? Yes, to some extent, a very minute proportion. But are we the ultimate controller? No. If there's a power cut, nothing goes on. So there's a very important concept in this which we'll discuss. So we are tiny controllers in God's creation. And who's the supreme controller? That is God. So there's a very beautiful phrase mentioned here, MSc. MSc is a very famous degree, Master of Science. So who is actually a true master of science? Who's actually knowledgeable? What is the definition of knowledge? Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, gives a very beautiful definition of actual knowledge. Knowledge means, remember this MSc, this acronym, please remember. MSc, which is actually a degree in universities also. MSc means, knowledge means one who knows M for matter, that is knowledge. One who knows S for spirit. And the next C stands for controller of both. MSc. So one who knows matter, one who knows spirit, and one who knows controller of both. Who is the controller and producer of matter, and who is the controller and producer of spirit, which is the supreme creator God. If someone knows these three principles, then only he is to be considered a knowledge. And we studied earlier, we discussed also earlier that science just studies matter without studying the spirit. That there is something beyond material creation, there's something beyond their reach, there's something beyond their human perception. That is actual knowledge. Knowledge of matter, spirit, and controller of both. We are actually controllers. It's not that now someone may ask that does it conclude that we cannot do anything? Are we bound? Uh, Aren't we the controllers? Yes, we are, but we are not the ultimate controllers. We are partial controllers, and God is ultimate controller. And we are not ultimate controller. That we should remember. Now, someone may ask a question that actually raises a question of God. This world works through nature, correct? And nature fantasizes people. Natural scenic beauty, it attracts people. So there may be a question that world is run by nature, but it is whose nature? So Krishna mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, this is his nature. He supervises the nature, and this the nature controls and supervises the creation. Now, there may be a doubt or there may be a question that actually, how does it make sense in my practical life? Even though we understand that nature is guided and supervised by the Supreme Lord, which in turn supervises the creation. Now, my question to all of you. You may think over and kindly respond in the chat box or raise your hand or unmute yourself. Why do you think this concept is important? How does it affect the real world? That there's a God and we are not the minute controllers, we are not the ultimate controllers. Why do you think it is important? Why do you think it is important to learn? Why do you think it's important to study? Anyone? Any responses from your side in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself? Why are we studying this? Does it make any sense in the real life? What difference does it make in the world if we understand that God is the ultimate controller and we are not the ultimate controller, just the minute controllers?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I would like to say that if I personally make a plan, it's not that accurate and beneficial for me. But
Mm-hmm.
if the God plans, it's like uh, He looks the larger picture. He knows what is required for me, for my soul.
Yeah,
So this is what my observation is till today from my life. He thinks better, not actually better, the best, and I think better. So
yeah,
I want the best.
yes, yes. Good point. Good point. Thank you, Amritam. It's a very good point that actually we have a limited capacity of thinking, but God knows best, and not just best for one particular individual, but the best for everyone because He's a super soul within. So He knows best for everyone. That's why we after learning this, we will depend on Him, and that makes sense. Yes, thank you very much, Amritam. Anyone else? What difference does it make? Why should we apply this principle in our lives? And should we apply this principle in our life? What difference does it make in the real world? Anyone? Anyone else in the chat box? Or you can unmute yourself. How is this principle important? Yes, there's some response in the chat box. Swati Mataji is saying God is beyond any limits. Yes. Yes. iPhone is Olivia. Yeah. Only God knows our hearts. Yeah. Yes. He knows us nicely because He's a Supreme Father and we are His part and parcels. Yes. I'm looking for one interesting response. I'm waiting for that. We don't know what's best for us sometimes. Yes, Nasrin Mataji, thank you. We don't know best, and as Amrita Mataji already confirmed that God knows best for us because we are His dependent children. Yes. I'm looking for one introspective response if someone can give that. Anyone would like to try? Any other guesses? Anyone else? Why do you think it's important in the real life? The main point is very important principle that the moment you understand that we are not the ultimate controllers, we'll get to know that actually we are not something special in this world. We should understand. There are more response in the chat box to understand the purpose of life. Karuna Mataji, yes, thank you. To be grounded, yes, that's a little close to what we will be discussing. Actually, everyone in this world lives a self-centered life, centered around himself. He thinks, not he, that's everyone, he or she, everyone thinks that They are the most special person in the world. Everything should be centered around them. Either relationships or job or the politics of the country which we reside should be centered around and beneficial for them. And when we understand that God is the ultimate controller, we are tiny controllers and we have come about for a tiny period, for a limited span. And after that limited span, we anyways are going to leave the body and we are traveling to some another body in some another species. So when we understand that God is the ultimate controller, we will get to know that first of all, this principle will be important in learning that we are not the ultimate controllers and we are not special. We are just like any other human being on the planet. So we should not think ourselves special. We should not think of our plans to be special. We should not think our existence to be special. And that's what will make us grounded, as Swati Mataji mentioned in the chat box. Secondly, very important principle that we won't just value our existence, we value others' existence also. So this principle of simultaneous coexistence with others will help us becoming more favorable towards others. That actually God is the ultimate controller, so everyone is actually part and parcel of God. So every creation, every species, they have to be valued. We cannot encroach upon another's resources as we see in the world. There are fights between countries encroaching upon others' resources, either for oil or for oil reserves or for some resources or technology. This encroachment would stop because we'll understand that God is the ultimate controller. We are not ultimate controllers. And let others live peacefully and let others also coexist. Therefore, I must tell you, very important principle that spiritual consciousness can solve all the problems of life. Because that's what it teaches, that God is the ultimate controller and we are tiny, minute, independent controllers. And not eternally also, for some limited period of time. And that's what solves the problem of life. That's what people are struggling with. And all of you hear the news, right? There are wars going on between countries. Flights are stopping, airports are being blasted, there are drone attacks. Because people don't understand that they are not the ultimate controllers. Even if someone becomes superpower, that'll be for some period of time. It won't exist for long. Therefore, the spiritual principle, spiritual teaching is very, very important. Okay, so there's this quiz which all of you we have already studied. Huxley's statement is that there is a third thing in the universe. D is the correct option. That which is beyond spirit, matter, and force. Okay. All right. So we already learned this. Who's a true MSc Master of Science? One who knows matter, spirit, and controller of both. We learned this example of turning light bulb on and off. So now we come to this, the cosmic machine, and this will finish this topic. So there are two types of energy, inferior and superior. And this world comes an inferior energy of God's creation. It doesn't work independently, but works within the supervision of material nature. Okay? The point is, we may make great machines. We may make great machines which work nicely. We may even make cars which are automatic. The point is that automation also was created by man. There is some interference needed. We can have one mixer grinder which automatically grinds everything, but there should be someone who turns on the switch. We can have a coffee vending machine which makes coffee. But someone has to interfere, that button has to be started. And therefore, this universe is also a machine at a cosmic level. And we'll discuss one important part. I'll just mention that and we'll finish this topic, which is this remote cause, immediate cause, and ultimate cause. Okay, would someone read this, please? Anyone? This is Srila Prabhupada's
Read it,
statement.
Prabhu.
Yes,
Yeah.
anyone.
Inferior energy has no power unless superior energy is involved. Krishna controls nature just as an engineer controls a train. The engineer controls the locomotive engine, which pulls one bogie, and the and that bogie in turn pulls another, which pulls another, and so the whole train is moving.
Like you can see the example in the train in the slide of the train. So if we look, kindly look into the PPT, if we consider this bogie B4. So B4 is being dragged by the bogie B3. So immediate cause for B4 to be dragged is B3. Correct? But what drags B3? Another bogie, B2. So B2 in turn drags both B3 and I think there was some glitch. Just a second. It's visible. Slide is visible.
Yes, Prabhu, it is visible.
Okay, okay. So what was the last thing all of you heard? Could someone let me know?
Yeah, B1 bogie is pulling B2, B3, and B4.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Satyamataji. So the first bogie is pulling B2, B3, and B4. But actually, what is pulling all the bogies is the engine. So therefore, there is a remote cause, intermediate cause, and the ultimate cause. Okay. So nature might be working, but who is supervising the nature? This is the supreme law. So Krishna is mentioning in Bhagavad Gita, that creation is like pearls strung upon a thread. When we see thread or we see a garland made of flowers, but we never see the thread. Thread is invisible, but it is to be understood that there is the thread existing within the flowers, which keeps all the flowers united, which binds all the flowers, which binds all the pearls. And that's what the presence of the Lord indicates in this world. Might be invisible, but by common sense, we can understand that He is present. All right. So this principle is very, very important. Remote cause, immediate cause, and ultimate cause. Okay. Yeah, so actually we finish our topic here. And by this, we can understand that actually putting faith in the existence of God and putting faith that He is ultimate controller managing the whole world is actually a very logical principle. And that's why it's a reasonable faith, not just sentimental faith. It's a reasonable faith that we believe in existence of a God who is the ultimate creator and who is the supervisor and controller of the whole creation. And we are just tiny, minute controllers, which has even been proven by the great scientists in the past. So we'll stop our topic here. We'll stop our discussion here. And everyone, if you have any questions, you can kindly either raise your hands or put a question in the chat box. Or you can also mention one take-home message. So we'll stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Okay. Over to you, Gokul Sundari Mataji, if you're available. Hare Krishna. Gokul Sundari Mataji, you're there behind the camera? Okay, I think she might be busy with some event and all. Okay, so all of you, if you wish, you can mention your reflections and one take-home message which you liked during our discussion. Yes, anyone would like to volunteer, please, either in the chat box or you can unmute yourself. Anyone?
Hare
Yes.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Olivia. Yes.
Home is God is the source. God is our power source, and even though we can't see, um, we can't always see um, the energy all around is God. So when we lean into our faith, even when we can't see, we can move in the best way. That was my take home.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Olivia, for your response. Very much appreciated. Yes, anyone else? Nasreen Mataji, Karuna Mataji, Swati Mataji. Any response from your side?
Very well explained, Prabhuji, especially the example of Bogi. And you can visualize like how we always see nature is beautiful, but we forget, who is behind this nature. So very well said with that example.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Karuna Mataji. I appreciate it. Yes, Swati Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thanks for taking time and explaining all of this. Actually, these things are really needed for all of us to remind how grounded we have to be for all the things uh, which we are using right now. We are, as you told, like we are in this world for a very, very, very short time. So we have to use it at our best and make sure we live to Godhead. And no matter we are in this world, no matter you work hard, earn some money, but remember that all this is not yours. So thank you so much for reminding all of this to us. And it was a nice session, Prabhuji. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Swati Mataji. Anyone else? Nikita Mataji, Amrita Mataji, Nisreen Mataji. Any other reflection or take home message? Okay, thank you very much, Nisreen Mataji. Any last take home messages from anyone? Nikita Mataji, Amrita Mataji. Okay, if there's none, we'll stop here. Thank you very much for giving out your valuable time, and we'll meet again next week with the new topic. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhu, thank you.
Hare Krishna.